All right, we are recording. Good to see everybody. Welcome to Power Hour. It is Thursday, the 28th of June. We've got Friday and Saturday left to finish out this month. Hope everybody is pushing like crazy. We are on day 179 with 186 days left. Closer and closer to the midway point. So let's see here. The other thing I track's got 134 days till number 4 arrives. So we're getting closer on that too. So that's fun. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So tonight, like we do every night, we're going to start with questions. So if anybody has any questions that they would like to ask or anything that they've been working on or anything they want to share, now is the time to do it. So let's open the lines up for that first.
Hey, Bug. You're kind of quiet, okay? So listen.
There's Sarah. Good to see you. John.
Go.
Sharon. Good to see you. Mr. Pinto. Ida put me on a great three-way call today. We're going to talk about that first off. When I spoke, I've said this before, but everybody's life changes every 90 days. So when you plant seeds with somebody, don't ever forget that. And Gita had a perfect example of that today. And she had reached out to somebody that she had met online, I think, through Instagram. And they had some back and forth. Nothing really took off from that. And then today, the gentleman pops back up out of nowhere, starts asking questions. Gita puts him directly on the phone with me on a three-way chat. And we ended up having a 45-minute talk, me and this guy. And he is all about what we've got going on. Personal trainer. Been doing it for 13 years, looking to be able to build a facility, needs some more capital to be able to do that. Folks, don't ever think that when somebody says they're not ready for something right now, that means that it's a done deal. The most important thing you can do is persistence, follow up. Don't ever think it's got to be on your time cycle, okay? It takes the plants some time to grow when you plant the seed. It doesn't happen. You don't harvest in the same season that you plant. And most people don't have the longevity mindset in this or anything else for that matter. Most people got about a 3-day maximum on anything, and then they got to quit and move on to the next thing. And they wonder why everything is the same in their life and they still don't have anything. It's an interesting correlation. So just don't quit. That doesn't mean plant one seed or 2 seeds and then sit down and just watch those 2. It means don't stop planting. You just keep planting seeds. And when you think they're not going anywhere, guess what? The farmer has no idea how that little seed turns into an actual plant. I promise you. He's got some ideas, but he ain't the one making it do that. Okay? That's outside of their hands. The farmer just plants the seed. He finds a good soil, he finds good seed, and he plants it in there. Does a little nurturing, does a little care on it, but the miracle is being done somewhere else. That's how this business works as well. It's the best analogy for this business. So, good job, Gita, on that. I think we're going to be getting somebody new on the team from that without a doubt. So, all right. I was doing a Road to Jade event here in Houston, and if you guys looking on, Mr. Pinso was there, Karen was there. But I'm telling you, these Road to Jades are pretty powerful. And I was actually speaking with Mr. Pinso today. We have a really good mastermind. He and I are, we might not look the same on the outside, but on the inside, we have some ideas on some things. So we had a really good chat today, and we talked about a couple of things. And I really want to encourage everybody when you see the Road to Jade that I'm going to do online, it'll be next week. Probably I haven't nailed down the timing on it with 4th of July. It's kind of rich in my plans for when I'm going to do that. But look for that when we have it. One of the things I want everybody to start thinking about is it's really not about the information. Power Hour would be maybe a perfect example. Some of y'all been coming to Power Hour since the first one in December. And some of y'all just got started at the one that we did on Monday. So I get it. People are coming to a lot of different ones. But the information by itself is fantastic information. Don't get me wrong. But in your life, information is not what most people need. In fact, it's not what anybody needs. They need information, and something else, and that's called action. You have to discover the information. I can tell you the information all day long. I can grab my little guy who's going to be 3 next month, bring him in here, sit him on my lap, and tell him 2 + 2 = 4. He's going to look at me and he's going to start giggling hysterical like a psychopath that he is, and it's information. But he didn't discover that 2 + 2 = 4. He might say 4. He might say 2 + 2 = 4. He doesn't know it. He doesn't know that information until he discovers it for himself. I can say this information in Power Hour until I'm blue in the face. Until you discover it for yourself, it's just stupid information. So what has to happen if you want results in this business? And I understand that not everybody comes to Power Hour for results. A lot of people come to Power Hour because it's fun, because they like getting around a group of other people. They like being around positive people. They've been dealing with a whole bunch of, sour pusses all day long. And it's nice to be able to come into a group of positive people. So I get it. But if your desire is that you want results in this business, the activity that you must do, you have to take activity. You have to do the action. All there is to it. And what's crazy is you can sit here and get it and, yep, got this, let's do this thing. And then all of a sudden you get out there in the real world and you pick this thing up and it turns into like this 400-pound dumbbell. I saw it when I did the Road to Jade event on Tuesday night. Had a lady there, brand new. Her name was Lori. Awesome lady. She'd been in since like January, had never done anything with it, never come to a Power Hour, didn't know what that was. Just, it happens. But she still wanted to do something with it. So she showed up at the event. And we went through the basics of a plan on a page. That's all it is. And we took action. And when it was time to take action, the first step in the action is you send your friend a text that says, hey, how are you? And she had it right here. And she's holding on to this thing. It ain't moving at all. And then all of a sudden it goes upside down and goes on her lap. And I'm talking to everybody in the room, and I look over and I see it, and I put it for a second, and I come back over. I said, I think you might have lost your phone. If you're looking for it, it's right there on your knee. And she kind of grinned a little bit. And then I had to get her to pick up the phone. Here's what was holding her back. I knew it written across her face. She was in her head. I said, how often do you reach out to your friend here that you're getting ready to text? Oh, multiple times a day. And what are you getting ready to send her? Oh, I'm going to send her a text. Well, what are you going to say? Hi, how are you? Okay, cool. How many times do you do that in a week? But she's freaking out, man. Why? Because she's in her head. That's all it is. That's the only thing. Her little terrorist sitting right there doing whatever it was. And it was on hyperdrive, man. Like the little terrorist had some nitro and just getting after it, you know. And when I was able to reframe it for her, I said, right now you're in your head on what this is going to do for you. I said, turn it over. Why are you doing it for your friend? She looked at her little box and she said why she's doing it for her friend. And as soon as she finished saying those words, she immediately picked her phone up, didn't look me in the eye again, and just went to work and did what we were supposed to be doing. Huge lesson there. Huge lesson for everybody right there. You got to make this about the person that's in the plan on the page on all those boxes. It's got to be about them. You've got to take action. That's all there is to it. You got to take action. You got to do those steps. And when you get in a cadence of doing these steps, I promise you it is just the silliest, most simplistic little business that's out there that we do. You're not talking about our business. You're not talking about the products. You're not talking about any of those things. You don't even need to know how to spell Kyani. In fact, you better not even mention the word Kyani. Oh, well, they needed to know. No, they didn't, because you screwed up and you started talking about a business, and this ain't about a business. It's about what do they want. The only way they would know that you have a business called Kyani is you would say the words, I've got a new business called Kyani. And as soon as you say when you say I, everything that comes after that is about you. If you do this right, there is no possible way that they're even going to know there's a business or a product or anything else. If you do it right, the word I should never be. It should be about them.
You set that up?
The only time that the word I comes out is when you say, I know a guy that can help you with your problem. That's the only time you get to say I. When it's about them, people take action. It's a whole lot easier to take action. You'll take more action. Plant more seeds. Have the possibility that 3 months down the road, somebody pops back up, starts blowing your phone up, asking you all kinds of stuff about, hey, what was that thing that you were talking about that one day if I ever wanted to, have more wealth in my life? Because I'm getting sick and tired of being sick and tired of doing what I've been doing. I've done it for the last 3 months and nothing's different. So what you got? I got a guy. Put him on. You got it. That's what Gita did today. And I had a great chat with him. That's this business, folks. You're making it too hard. Get the plan on the page, print that sucker out, follow those steps. Don't say anything about the customers. Don't say anything about the product. Don't say anything about the business. Find out what they want. Find out if they want to make more of one of those 4 things in the report box. Another thing I want to share with everybody, this is just another way of, I tell you, I'm running out of different ways to think about it, but I came up with another one. When you come into this business, we've named as the last power hour that we had, we officially made sure everybody was crystal clear that our group's called the Jade Factory. And as that's gone around more and more, and people have asked, why Jay? Why'd you pick that and this, that, and the other? And it simply goes to the fact that $300 will change the vast majority of people's lives. If you make $3,000 a month, you're looking at about $36,000 a year. And that is going to be a very strong average salary for most people, $3,000 a month. When's the last time anybody's gotten a 10% raise? Another $300 a month coming in. Do you know how hard it is to get an extra $300 a month? Now, you can go do a lot of things to make $300 a month. Don't get me wrong. I went and I was playing around online a little bit for this, and I was looking at some of the different things that people do. You can go deliver pizzas. That's one thing that they were saying. You could do that. You probably make about $70, $80 a night delivering pizzas because, if that's something that you want to do and you like the smell of pizza and you want to have it in your car, go for it, right? So that's, $70, $80. Do that for, once a weekend, do it on Friday night, dedicate your Friday night to that, make another $300 a month. That's one way of doing it. Another thing that you can do is maybe you could be a tutor, $35 an hour, if you can get tutoring jobs for that. 4 hours a weekend, make yourself another $100. No problem. Do that 3-4 weekends a month. You got yourself $300. Now, that's when you're trading time for money to do that. Anybody can go out and get a part-time job, make another $300 a month. Another thing that you could do is you could look at making that money differently. You could go out and get it on a residual basis. One way is interest. You could get paid by a bank. I went and looked online, and the best rate that I could see, I didn't spend all afternoon doing this, but was 1.45% from Ally Bank. I did some math on this. You're going to need about $248,000. We'll go ahead and call it $250,000. $250,000. You're going to get 1.45% on your money, and that'll make you $300 a month also. So if you got $250,000 sitting around somewhere, burning a hole in your pocket, under a mattress somewhere, take it to a bank, and you make $300 a month too. That's one way of doing it. You can go out and get a property, like I did back in the day, and that was $30,000. I've since realized that the down payment rules and everything have changed. They've gone up, so you're going to need even more than that. You're not going to need just 20%. You're going to need 25%. So call it $40,000, $45,000, whatever, to be able to go out and do what I did before. And when it was all said and done, I made $260. The next one I did $340. We averaged that out. That's $300 a month. The other thing that you can do is that you can go on a scavenger hunt. You can get this business started and you go on a scavenger hunt for 28 people that are unhealthy. Do you think you can go out and find 28 people that are unhealthy? If you can, and you can go get those customers, 28 customers, if you do the math on that, 80 customers apiece, carry the one, all that good stuff, you're going to have 2,000 points of volume. Okay, that's a perfectly good way of going out and doing that. You'll hit Jade. The average Jade is going to earn $300 a month in our business. Another thing that you could do is you could go find 3 people to go on the scavenger hunt with you. We still need 28 people that are unhealthy. You can do it yourself, or you can enlist 3 other people to help you go find that and say, hey, let's divide and conquer. How about the 4 of us, Al, Bob, Chuck, and me, we each go get 7 customers. If we do that, we split this list of 28 up, and that'll work out real good. And then when you've done that, you've made Jade. When you do that, you make Jade, and guess what? First of the month, you make Jade again. First of next month, make Jade again. Why? Because you got your 28 customers in there. 7 for you. Al gets 7. Bob gets 7. Chuck gets 7. Now, depending on how they get placed, you can talk to them and say, hey, you know what? This is pretty nice. I was able to go do this. And thank you for your help on that. And let's go find you some people. And here's what I'm going to do for you, Al, Bob, and Chuck. Since you did a great job on going out and helping me on this thing, I'm going to be looking for somebody to help you on your scavenger hunt too. You don't have to just go find them. I might go see if I can find a couple as well. And then I go out and I sponsor another person. And Al goes and gets 2 himself. We put those underneath Al. Now Al's got his 7 customers that he brought, and he's got 3 business partners, and he didn't even bring all those business partners on board, but that still gets him to the same spot. You'll see how cool this business is. Do you see how cool and simple it is what we do, and how great this comp plan is, and how it works for sponsoring and placing, and how that can help out as well? And that can get you to some ranks, and that can get you a very solid amount of money coming in. And what's really cool is once you've done that scavenger hunt, you don't have to do that work anymore. You don't have to deliver any more pizzas. You don't have to sit down with any more 7th graders and do math homework with them. That's a powerful way to make an extra 10% on what most people are making per month. And that keeps happening every single month. And if we show them how to duplicate that, they don't have to do the work, okay? Al, Bob, and Chuck, they don't have to do all the work. All they got to do is listen. And if they find somebody, tell them they got a guy. That's it. They're done. How can there be any person that would say no to that? Folks, I'm telling you, they won't. Well, Casey, if it was that easy, everybody'd be doing this. Folks, it's that easy. And everybody's doing it around you. I need you to do it. I need you to follow what we do in the Jade Factory. That's it.
Okay.
That's all there is. And make sure that the ones that come after you do the same thing. If you will do that, there is no lid to this. Jade turns into pearl, just like that. Pearl turns into sapphire, just like that. Sapphire turns into ruby, just like that. Ask Miss Sherry Passmore how that works. It just keeps on going and keeps on going and keeps on going for what you got started. And then you feel like you don't even feel worthy when you look in your organization. It's like, what have I done to inherit all of these people in the organization? You got something started. You had a vision that was big enough to get you past your fear, and you enrolled. And you took action. And because you took action, you did something that took off. That's it. That's all we do. That's all we do in this business. Mr. Pinso, you got your hand raised.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me? Casey, can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
Hey, one of the big things that I have realized is, everybody was talking about the launch and watching the video. If they just stick with the plan on a page, that's as good a launch as they can do. That shows them the duplication, how simple this really is, instead of some, teeth pulling, cow milking excursion here that's so painful. I mean, that plan on the page that you came up with is actual. I mean, it is brilliant. And it makes this so simple. If you do, what is there, 5 to a page times 4, that's 20. If they just simply pick up that phone that weighs 4,000 pounds and do what they do every day on making this simple, because you're right, they are overthinking it. And if they can just get used to that, I mean, the growth for everybody on this Power Hour would be astronomical. It really would.
Yeah. Yeah. And so here's why people don't. Here's why they don't follow that. It's simply a matter of they don't know any better, or they're not discovering it for themselves that this works. They think, and everybody, myself included, is constantly to be blamed for doing this exact thing is, oh, I can do a little bit better job than that. I can change this up a little bit, make this a whole lot better. Or that's fine. That's a good kind of a good outline. I'll go ahead and then do my own parts where I apply this. Because most people aren't given a system that has been baked like this one has, that has been washed over so many times. If you guys have ever make it out to my parents' house one day and you see some of the crazy stuff that goes on in my dad's 4,000 square foot metal shop that we have out there, it's insane. It's absolutely ludicrous, the stuff that we do out there. We probably don't follow very many OSHA standards out there. We just redneck style, you know what, we can make one of them, and that's what we do. And when you get 10 acres and you get a 4,000 square foot shop and you get a guy that, you know, built pretty good business for himself and's got a little bit of disposable income and just doesn't really care anymore, you can get in a lot of trouble out there. So what I do when we go out there is we take ideas off of here, off of here, off of here, off of here, and we take a little bit of piece of all this stuff and we put it all together. And that's how I've grown up. That's what I do. That's why I do what I do for a living in corporate America. That's why I simplify processes. That's why I'm on 2 magazine covers. I have a track record of doing that. That's what I do. I'm really good at that one thing. There's a lot of stuff that I suck really, really, really bad at. But when you know you're good at a certain thing, then you try to build everything around that. And if you can do that successfully, you can become an expert, a global expert in a couple of key areas and do extremely well. That's what I bring to the table, folks. That's what I've done. That's what we've done with this system. And we will continue to constantly tweak and change little bitty pieces. You won't see any big wholesale changes in this unless I go to some conference and I see something that blows me away. And then I'm not just going to come throw it on you guys. I'm going to take it into the back, put it in the shop, and we're going to go tinker on it for the next year. Because I'm not going to upset what I've already built just because I get some new harebrained idea. It's not how I operate either. This thing has been thought through to a level that will make most of y'all cry. Just follow it to its simplicity that's been laid out. Simply walk into the factory and say, this is not my normal space. I'm not going to sit here and try and understand all of the bits and pieces of it. I don't need to know exactly why when I put a certain amount of propane in a certain amount of space with a certain amount of pressure and I have a barbecue igniter on the other end, that it makes that tennis ball go out at 325 miles per hour and get singed on the backside. You don't need to know all those details on why it works. Just sit there and watch it. When we hit the button, it goes boom and the flying tennis ball goes flying across the screen. Go, ooh, wow, that's so cool. Now, if you want to know how we built the whole thing, dude, I love showing that part off too. Anybody wants to see that part, you just say when. But when you first come in, instead of going, you know what if we change that and move that? No. You haven't even seen it go off yet. You haven't even gone up and done it yourself the way that was already intended to. Don't come in and try to make the changes. Now, I'm not saying that from a rude perspective. I'm just saying that as a kind of a slap across the face to get your attention to say, when you've come in here, everybody tries to do their thing. My daughter just had a big event tonight. She got another one tomorrow, so she's just coming home from that. So when when somebody comes in on this, don't change it. You come in and you'll try to do your little part with it. You know what? Yeah. But I need to do it this way. You don't. I promise you, you don't. You might want to. Okay, I get it. But when you do that, you might want to go into a new factory and say, hey, what does this button do? Don't push that button. It causes the whole line to break down. Come in and just say, what do I need to do to make those things keep popping out at the other end of the factory? Because those are the jades that are just popping out of the end of the factory. Those are turning into sapphires, pearls and sapphires. Those are turning into rubies, causing emeralds constantly. How do you get some of those? Plan on a page and take action on the plan on a page. So I want to have questions coming in from people on, Casey, what do I need to do with the plan on a page? I've done this. I did these steps, and this is what I got. I want Power Hour to turn more into less of me bumping my gums because I get tired of hearing my own self speak. Y'all got to be really sick of it. I want it to be about you guys. I want it to be about what you've done. We've done this before with something called the Summit, but I don't think anybody's up for 50 straight days at 10 o'clock at night. Joanne's like, no, don't do it. And she'd be the first one to sign up if I did another one. But I don't want to go to that level just yet. We will do another one, don't worry, but we got to get the timing just right. And I got that all figured out too. But I want to do not, and I don't even want to call it a summit, but I want Power Hour to be about you being empowered and doing stuff, not just coming here for a nice, easy, relaxful evening event. I want it to be that too, but I want it to, if you guys don't get any action out of it, it's worthless. So I want this to be I talk about plan, do, review, adjust. This has turned into plan. And we plan 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 and we plan, and you leave out of this thing with some great plans. But and then y'all are out doing. I know you're out doing. Don't get me wrong. But we're not getting the review and the adjust. And when you keep doing, but you don't get the review and the adjust, you think you're doing it right. Well, Casey, I'm doing exactly what you say. But it's impossible for you to do it exactly as I say the first time because this thing gets in the way. Between when we leave here to when you go out to actually do it, the terrorist gets to jump in the factory and start screwing with things. So what we need to do is we need to replay it. I need to hear what you're doing. I need examples of, hey, Casey, today I did this. And here's the result that I got. And then is there anything that we can adjust to make it better? And if we can, good. If we can't, say, no, you did it exactly how it needs to be done. We planted the seed. It's in there. We're going to see if it germinates now. Didn't germinate right then, no problem. So that's what I would like Power Hour to turn into, to morph into, so that we can have a better interaction and this actually gets you something. We won't do it on every single one because I do want this to be for the new person that comes in. I want them to be able to get the information because you do need information, but you also have to have the action. And this will be a way to make sure that we're doing the action. Okay? Any questions on that? Any thoughts or opinions on that? Anybody think that's a terrible idea? I can see y'all. This isn't TV. Thank you, John. All right. We're going to go around the room. Van, what do you think?
Hey, Casey, how are you?
I'm good. How about you?
Doing good. I got a question. I ran it by Sherry yesterday, but we were both in a hurry, and I never really got a true answer just because her door and my door, I think we're both going or something. So my mom is getting like excellent results.
Okay.
She has stage 4 kidney disease and several different things going, and she does blood work once a month. And Monday was her blood work day, and her doctors out in Phoenix from her kidney doctor called and said, hey, and they're back here in Kansas for a couple months. And they're like, hey, you don't need to take your iron tablets anymore. and your blood work was extremely good. Could you go and have it checked in 2 weeks again? And so my mom, being 72 and kind of crazy, you know, because she's old, that's mean, but just kind of what I tell her. Anyway, she's all excited. Man, this stuff is working so well for me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. Plus, she went to the mountains, and she's always short of breath when she's at their house in Angel Fire, and she wasn't short of breath.
That's
So she
the number right
calls
there.
her family in California, her sister and brothers, and she's telling them this. Well, she has one brother who I seen when I was 5, 6, 7 years old. Never seen the man again. These people are from California. I don't know them, blah, blah, blah. But he's got a lot of health issues. I don't even know exactly what health issues, but my mom wants me to contact him and tell him about this stuff.
Okay.
Well, he's very uneducated, as my mom is. So the approach of, you know, hey, what's going on with you medically? I don't think I'm going to get a lot of information out of him other than, oh, I don't feel good and I smoked them cigarettes all my life.
Yep.
So is it totally wrong if I go through his son to give him the information? Because my cousin is going to have to pay for this stuff anyway because he don't have any income.
Well, that's the case with that last little bit of information right there. Then yeah, you need to go to the decision maker, and he's not the decision maker because he's not the purse string holder in this situation. It sounds like, and it's the cousin. So I would absolutely go to the cousin and say why you're calling, and lay it all out like you just did with us, and go that direction. Absolutely.
Yeah. Hey, I might need to talk to the cousin anyway. He's a private investigator and has his own business there in LA. He's got like 6 different PI, offices throughout that area.
Yep.
He might need to get into a little wealth and wellness as well.
Find out, ask him what's going on. Now that would be one that you could go back to the script, to the plan on a page and say, hey, how's it been going? And then
they have a handicapped little boy that, I don't know exactly what's wrong with Sean, but like he doesn't even talk.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not exactly sure. And I mean, I know that it's probably not, going to make the kid talk or whatever, but it might help with some of his
don't go speaking that stuff into existence.
Yeah,
it has done just that right there that you just said that it maybe wouldn't do. It has done before.
So yeah, I mean, and Mom's been a great little person to go out and and she calls them her vitamins, which Mom is.
Yeah, that's fine. So what I would do in that situation is I would reach out to them. I would do the normal plan on a page, find out what's going on, figure out what you've got a couple of assumptions in the box. Leave them in your head as those assumptions, and just get him to talk, and make sure that you're doing it in the right ratio of 2 ears to 1 mouth. And make sure that you get it started up and get them talking. And then if it's curious, why are you calling? Oh, my mom wanted me to call about your dad. And also wanted to see how, your son's doing, and just, how's my job going?
The whole thing is awkward. I mean, you know how you say you meet random people and you visit with them and whatever? Honest to God, I've never, once again, when I was real little, outside of FaceTime when he's at my mom's house in Arizona, I haven't seen this guy since, 5, 6 years old.
Doesn't matter.
So, another thing is we haven't.
Hold on. Time out. I think that just went right over. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter one bit. And I want everybody to hear that, because what's happening right there is the seeds of doubt being sown by your little terrorist.
Yeah, well, he's into health and nutrition and working out, so I think I can get somewhere with him. Just visiting, starting with his dad, and then saying, "Hey, da 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 da." Also, we're having the PBR here at our house next Friday night with Sherry. Pretty excited about all of that.
Okay.
So
I heard a barbecue got rearranged to make it happen, so that's awesome.
Got about 55 to 60 on our list right now that
70.
we're gonna get sent out to over the weekend, and then I'll put out reminder text and whatever. And we're hoping to incorporate some of those physicians and da da da. And I did go ahead and order. The other night, a lady said something about brochures. And so we decided, well, I think it would be nice just to have, in case someone wanted to take a little literature with them, because, some of them just don't have Facebook, so I did order some of that. But yeah, that's going to be pretty exciting to have Sherry out and see how.
On all those numbers that you threw out there, let me go ahead, and this is for everybody because it's your first PBR and you're excited, and I see it and I love it, and I'm freaking fired up. When Sherry was telling me about it today, she came by for some of those said brochures. But anyway, I want to make sure I set expectations for everybody if you host a PBR and how it goes, because that's very, very important. When you do one of these, probably about, with those large of a number, about 70% of the people that say they're going to come are lying to you. Just go ahead and get ready for that.
Right.
That's just how it goes, especially when you have a big group like that. If you have a smaller group of somewhere around 20 people say they're coming, that means 10 are actually going to be there. And good chance it's actually going to just be 8, because somebody's going to get, run over their car or their cat or something is going to happen. You're going to also make sure
Today was kids puking, the alternator was out.
have a special little folder on the side just so that you can keep the special notes of the coolest stories that people are going to bring also on why they can't go. There's going to be so many people that are going to lose their, special Aunt Edna isn't going to make it that weekend either. Okay. So just be ready for it. I have heard some really good things.
Trust me, remember I've been a boss since I was 23 years old. I am 46. And just when I think I've heard the wildest story, I get another one. And I should have been writing a book all these years. Yeah. So anyway, well, that was what I wanted. I just want to figure out how to kind of approach these distant relatives, or I guess they're not really even distant. I just don't know them. I mean, it's kind of a weird thing. So once again, whatever.
Awesome. Well, good luck.
Great.
Wish you the best.
Appreciate it.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Next question.
I need to get that done tomorrow. I'll give Ricky some.
Linda, what you got?
So you kind of clarified this for me the other day, but it just became clear this week that I'm going back and forth with the hamburger method, trying to do form, asking about the family, the occupation, what they do for recreation. And at what point do you cut the bait and say, move them to a monthly?
So during rapport, you're not getting anywhere. Is that the main idea?
Well, I mean, they're not, how's your family? John, this is what happened to John. Oh, cool. Blah, blah, blah. And they move on.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. And so after you've kind of gone through the whole thing, really nothing came out that you can check a box that says one of these two things. When that happens, once I make it through form and I make a pass through with that and nothing really good, I'm done right then. I'm real quick on figuring out what's going on. I'm not going to sit there and go on and on and on and on and on. They'll get a shot at that. And then I'll probably reach out to them maybe 2 to 3 months. I'll reach back out to them again is how I usually go about it. Again, based off of that 90-day thing. And otherwise, if I reach out more often than that, then it's kind of like this guy again, but 90 days just seems to be a good spot for people forget everything in 90 days anyway. And it's a good way to start back in. Now, if I happen to run into them or something, that's great. But me to initiate, I'm probably not going to initiate out to somebody more frequently than 90 days.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
It does. I mean, you seem to go through it in like 5 minutes.
When I'm having a chat with somebody, my intent, I've already made up my mind that I'm going to help them. I'm going to bring some form of value to them. And that's how I operate now. That's how I go through the world on what value can I bring to the person I'm getting ready to have an interaction with. And it could be a point where I am dead tired. I am ready to go home. I am worn slick and I have an interaction with somebody. I completely change my mindset at that point of I'm here to see if I can help them. What if they've got somebody in their life that's got something going on that I might be able to bring value to? I've been blessed with some information. I've been blessed with a couple of skills. And it is my duty to be able to see if I might be able to help them with these 4 things, because I've got those 4 things in absolute total abundance. I can never run out. I can never run out of giving that away. So that's how I operate. And when I do, I also consider the fact that they're not the only one on this planet. And if I sit there and I spend an hour and a half with this person, and I didn't do a good job of sorting through some information quickly, I could be spending my time with somebody that's not really at a point that they're ready to receive any of that value. They just haven't made it to that point in their life, or they don't have anything that they want to share with me that's going on. If that's the case, then I'm screwing everybody else behind them that is waiting on me to get to them, is how I look at it. So when I have that chat with them, I am on a mission. I am on a mission to quickly and fast identify what's going on in their world. I want to get to it. And that's how I am. So I ask questions that are probing questions that gets into the heart of it. I talked about the waiter the other day at the event we were doing. Roy, how you doing today? Good, man. Hey, let me ask you, what else do you do? You're doing a great job tonight. You got some snap about you. What else do you do for a living? Straight to it, man. We're going to find out some information. He might not be up for wanting to share that information. That's cool. No problem. Or he might say, oh my gosh, I was on my knees last night praying about this right here. And here this guy is asking me these questions. Are you kidding me? Because that's literally what I've ran into multiple times this week. And that ain't by happenstance. People are out there looking for stuff, man. They are literally on their knees begging, how can I just make another $300 a month? I'm telling you, it is done all the time. So when that happens, I'm going to get to it. I'm going to see if I can ask some probing questions straight into it. And when I got done with Roy, we weren't getting anywhere. Roy, love you, baby. Have a great one. I got to move on. And that's it. That's it.
Okay.
So the comment, I go through it fast. I do.
Well, I know you've been doing it a week or two.
That's it right there. That's it. If anybody's been doing something for 10 years and they don't make it look easy, you should not be listening to that person on how to do what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. And I've asked Karen, and she's come up with the same thing, and Sherry, they've come up with the same thing, but I guess my problem now is cut and bait, because it's going nowhere, and just move on. Yeah.
Now, your personality type?
Yes.
Is you are called a dove.
Okay.
And that's a great thing. I am an eagle. If you look at it in fish, I'm a shark. If you look at it in colors, I'm a red, you're a yellow. Those are the colors. That's how they all fit together. You're the one that's going to be there. You're going to be the person that is going to make sure that everybody else is good to go before you leave the room.
Yeah.
Don't stop being you. Don't try to go turn into somebody else. But with that said, also understand that what's the mission? What are you trying to achieve? What do you want to fulfill? And it's just bringing that awareness to it. You're going to do things in a way that other people aren't going to do it. Sherry approaches this business differently than I do. You're going to approach it differently than I am. John and I are going to approach it very similarly.
Mm-hmm.
That's our personality type. All of that said, don't get stuck on a personality type being something that's going to constrain you. Use your strengths. You have an amazing ability to empathize with others. You will build trust with somebody so quick. People see me and they're going to start thinking, what does he want from me? They're going to see you and she's like, oh my gosh, she's the sweetest lady in the entire world. She's going to bake me cookies and give me a hug.
I got you.
And there's a lot of fact to both of those statements right there. So don't ever compare to them from a perspective of, it's good to compare to see, am I in the ballpark? But then on the flip side of it is be okay with that. Your personality is going to struggle with that. I can drop them like it's hot in about 14 seconds and I will not lose any sleep. And you will toss and turn for 3 hours thinking about that interaction from 3 weeks ago.
I'm getting better. No, wrong. I'm getting better.
Good. But you have that propensity to do that because that's who you are. That is a beautiful, beautiful thing to have in this world. We need all of them. We need all parts of it. That's what makes the world go round. But what you've done, and you just said it right there, is it went from 3 weeks down to maybe a day and a half.
Yeah.
And you'll get better and better and hone that more and more. But it's always going to screw with you. It screws with me too. I can't stand when people say no. I feel like I have personally let them down. And then I get really irritated with them. Then I call them bad names. And then I move on. All of that happens for me now in about 15 seconds. It used to take about 15 hours because I'd be in the irritated stage for most of the day. You just get better at it, and you understand that, you know what, there's another person right behind them that I got to go help. And I'll check myself, say, okay, did I do everything I could have done? I review. Was it me? And it's an honest assessment of it as well as I can do that with my own ego and everything else that goes on in my life.
Mhm.
But then when I get done with all of that, I can say I learned something, or sucks for them. Good luck with whatever it is you think you're doing, and your terrorists just beat you down. Sucks for you. Next.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. Got it.
These are good questions, folks. I'm digging it.
Thank you.
Karen. Yes. Who's next? Somebody asked a question in the chat session. One second. Let me go back to that one. If someone is considering becoming a business partner and it is near the end of the month, I love these questions, and it is 2 days out, so everybody asks these. Should we have them join on the first of the month? And if them joining before month end doesn't help you get to the next rank? There is so much goodness in that question. Let's break it down a couple parts. First answer is no, you do not wait. Never, ever, 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 ever wait. That's the answer. Now let me tell you why. Couple of reasons. Right now, it doesn't matter to you. But here's what's going to happen. They're going to have 31 days regardless. You want them to be able to get started when their belief is highest. And right now, when somebody says they're ready to go, that's when they're ready to go. Somebody says, I'm ready to go. And you say, cool, go ahead and wait 3 days, and then we're going to get things rolling. You know how much can happen in 3 days? You know how much can happen in 3 hours? And I truly mean in 3 hours. I mean, holy, you see some people's heads. Some of the veterans are going, he ain't lying. So you want, when somebody's ready to go, shut up, take my money is the phrase. When they're ready, go for it. Now, the math, I get the math. Don't anybody try to explain the math to me on why. Let me tell you how the math works, going an opposite and a much bigger path. It's going to take them the amount of time it's going to take them. You want to be able to get them in now, and it's not about this month. It's never about this month. Even though right now it's last 2 days and you're thinking about this month, it is a perpetual cycle. It never ends. And so what you want to do is push as hard and as fast as you can now so that the power of duplication can kick in. Because you say it's not going to matter to you. It is going to matter to you, because what's going to happen is that person that could have started today and they're going to hit this thing on their 33rd day. It's all going to hit. All the seeds planted are just going to blow up. It's not about this month. It's about what's going to happen next month. And after these people come in, it's not about them. It's about who they bring. You want that in the organization as quickly as you can get them. Because then if you extrapolate that concept and you literally go months and years down the road, and the things that are going to happen, depending on your thoughts on destiny and all the things that go on. But if we just take all of that out, look at it from a math equation, all the buildup that can do, you want that as early as possible. 1 day can be all the difference. If you ever do the little fun math thing on your calculator where you take a penny and you double it every day, and the difference between what that can be just literally in 3 days can be something on the order of like $10 million from the duplicative effects of what that can do. And that's what this business is that duplicative effort, that doubling. We talk about it going 3 times, 3 who get 3 who get 3. On the penny doubling thing, that's just, doubling and doubling and doubling. That's just going by 2. We're talking about by going by 3s. So for that reason, also, you are going to shoot yourself in the foot. And you're trying to worry about that rank for the next one. Get that person in now, help them duplicate so that they can then have that many more. And that could be the difference of you being a sapphire next month or being a ruby, because you were worried about hitting whatever you were worried about hitting on this month. So that's another reason for that. Another reason on top of that I want to give you is consider this scenario. You just get started, you just come on board, and you're looking at what this person is going to do for you. But you're not thinking about further up in the organization. And just so everybody knows, Sharon is not in my organization. So this isn't me saying this from anything other than pure truth on how I feel about this. Whatever she does isn't going to do anything in my organization. But it's still the right answer in that you want it to come in as soon as possible, because it could be the difference of somebody hitting diamond or not hitting diamond. He said, well, I'm just one person. Well, that's how voting works too. I'm just one person. What does my vote mean? That one person coming in with those 500 points times 50 other people that are considering coming in on this one or coming on that one, that could be the thing that hits them diamond. So Casey, I don't care. I'm not a diamond. But you're going to be. You're going to be in that point where you're sitting at emerald and you're going, goodness gracious, if everybody would just push and just get one more person and they come in, that's the difference. And all the work that you do, that you build in and you pour in, you want that to be a part of your culture. You want that to be a part of your culture so that it comes back and benefits you and everybody else for all the right reasons as well. So for all those reasons, that's why always you put them in as soon as they can come in. Don't wait till that. If they're ready to come in right now, you put them in today, so that again, that just gives that many more chances for it to duplicate. Make sense, Sharon? Cool. Good question. Very good question. All right. I'm liking the interaction. Let's keep it going. Who else has got a question they'd like to ask? All right, so on July 3rd, July 2nd, that's Monday, that's going to be our next Power Hour. Two things, actually. Let me go ahead and make another statement. So Mr. Spencer Wynn, I reached out to him. We hadn't had a chance to talk a little bit. He'd said he had posted in the sessions that they weren't going to be having on Saturday. He's got a series of events that had come up that were interrupting. I'm pretty sure he'll come back and want to do them in the future, but right now the Saturdays that Spencer was doing have been canceled, and I've taken them off of the Power Hour page so there's no confusion on that. So no Saturday events for Power Hour for the foreseeable future. I'm going to reach out and see if Miss Sarah Ho wants to take that on. She was looking for a way to maybe jump in on that. So we'll see if that happens. But for now, there's nothing on Saturdays. And then in addition, on the next Power Hour that we have on Monday, I want you to definitely come with your plan on a page. I'm going to be asking questions of you from your plan on a page. Okay, so make sure that you have that. Make sure that you guys are keeping notes on your plan on a page or whatever system that you've got, but make sure that you can actually speak to it, know what's going on that page, because I'm going to be asking about it. Okay, and we'll have some interactions with that, and we'll try changing this up a little bit and get a little bit more of a review in on this. Make sure we got more action going on. Okay. Last call for questions. Last chance you get to talk to me in Power Hour this month. So make it a good one. You got 6 minutes of asking a really good question, or we're going to call it a night. Does everybody know what they need to be doing right now in this business? If so, give me a thumbs up. Yeah, cool. All right, very good. For everybody's got video working, I got thumbs up for everybody. Excellent. All right, then let's go do it. Ha, and the cat too, Van. Good job, man. That's pretty funny. Excellent. All right, everybody. Well, then I'm going to unmute the line so everybody can say good night. Let's make these last 2 days. We got 2 full days. Make them the best ever. And I'm telling you, this is where organizations make the difference, is in the last 2-3 days. A lot of people look at it and go, oh, the month's over with. I'll just get started in January and July. Now's the time that you hunker down and you push. Literally, you will see, as your organization grows, you will see close to 50%, and I'm not joking on this, 50% of your volume for the entire month will occur in the last 3 days of the month. It is fascinating the higher your rank goes. Okay. So with that said, everybody push like crazy, get out there. And if you don't have anybody in your pipeline right now, start your pipeline, get a jump on it so that it will be ready to harvest in January, or July. I don't know why I keep saying January. All right. So with that, I guess I need to get some sleep. You guys have a great one. Let me unmute the lines, and we will see you guys in the next couple days. All right, everybody. Thanks for coming.
Bye, everyone. Thanks, Casey.
Thanks, guys. Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you, Casey.